Those are the best.
Oh my gosh, you're struggling.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello everyone. Hi everyone. I'm Haley. This is Nikki, and this is Alexis. I own Lash, and Nikki and Alexis are our head educators. And we just want to thank everyone for participating in our online trade show. And this year we wanted to kind of tell you what our focus is, and our focus is on growth. And we want to focus this year on growing you guys as lash artists and doing everything we can to help that. And so we're really excited to announce we're launching over 20 new products this year, and 3 of them will be next month. And I hope you got to see, we had some like sneak peeks in yesterday's video. But yeah, today, again, we're just here live to answer any questions you might have. We'd love to help you grow your business. So if you have any business questions, we specifically would love to help you with that. But yeah, any questions you have, ask away.
Yes. And just like all of our other lives that we've been doing this week, the more questions you ask, the better your chances are to win some free stuff during our live videos. So ask away.
Yeah. We have a couple questions in already. Alexis is going to take the first one.
The first one, it says, how do you go from working from a home to opening up your own salon, and what are your tips? So my biggest tip is to just do it. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but if you think about everything you have to do to go into a business, it's just overwhelming and you'll never do it. It's just taking it one step at a time and just doing it. Like, whether it's getting the business license or hiring an extra person, just taking those small steps to like open the business will help you achieve the huge piece of the pie. Because I mean, Haley, when you opened up this amazing Bella Lash, I'm sure it's overwhelming to think about the big picture, but maybe like the small steps at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, next question. How do you keep a regular clientele? So this is a great question. I feel like it goes for anybody in the lash industry, whether you're new or whether you've been lashing for 10 years. The best advice I think I've ever got when dealing with clientele is to just respect them and make them feel like they are important. I feel like if you run a business and you're kind of getting to that point where you are so busy, you get to that point where you start to rush through your clientele, and they can feel that. So when you're working with your clients, just again, you know, make them feel important, do the best that you can, and just treat each one of them with respect, and they'll love you and respect you in return.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so the next question. How do you make your dreams of becoming a self-sufficient entrepreneur achievable? I think the best thing to do is to start with your why. A big why for me was I wanted to start my own business so I could control my time and have more time with my kids, and I wanted to start my own business so I could have more time for my religion or whatever. So whatever you have, just start with your why. Why am I doing this? And then another thing is like, don't stop. You're gonna have people that doubt you. You're gonna have people that challenge you. And if you can push past that part, you can do it. So just work hard, keep going no matter what adversity you might face, because you will face it. And you'll have things come up that just make you want to quit, but don't ever give up and keep going. And I think you do those 2 things and you can do it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
yes.
What is a good rate to charge your employees who are working at in your salon? So commission. So I think a great way to start if you're running a commission salon is to maybe have some tiers, because everyone's going to be on different levels.
Yeah.
So maybe have your beginners, maybe you take a bigger cut because you're training them and you're teaching them and you're putting more time into them. And then as they get better, giving them more and more of a bigger cut of the commission as they get better, and you don't have to watch them as much and teach them as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You would know that from running your own salon.
Yes.
The next question is, how do you stay motivated during the beginning stages of starting your own business? And a big thing that was big for me is I had my husband alongside with me to help encourage me and keep me going, because at the beginning you're not going to make any money. Everything has to go back in, so it's hard to keep that going for so long, but find an anchor, find someone who lifts you up, who encourages you. Always have the vision of the future. Don't like base everything off of what it is now. Just have a vision of your future and just keep on keeping on. And that's how I stayed motivated, was my husband, my family, they were really encouraging. So
Awesome. And passion, right?
Yeah.
You have so much passion
Yeah.
in this, so
I love it.
I think that's what makes a business a business.
Yep.
Okay, next question. What trainings do you recommend to push yourself as a lash artist? When it comes to trainings, I think the best thing to do is just learn as much as you can. Practice is a big thing, but the more you can learn and the more you can push yourself to try new things and try new methods, you're gonna find things that you love about each individual one, and then it just builds you up as a lash artist. So, I always recommend starting with a good classic training, right? Because I feel like a lot of people in the industry want to just jump straight to volume. You really need to establish those foundations. Once you have the foundation, it's just so much easier to grow into the next thing. So start with the classic training, if you're interested in it, and don't give up, don't get frustrated, because it's hard for the first, you want to pull your hair out, right?
Yeah,
for the first 3 to 6 months, it's so hard, but just keep going and just have goals and get to that next step, and then take that volume course, and then take that next course, and you'll be awesome.
Yeah, and with that, Nikki has the most amazing retention when she does lashes, and I think it's because she has tried everything. And so this year, I'm really excited. Nikki's gonna share all of her tips and tricks to get that retention, because it's unreal. And Alexis is unbelievable at making fans, and she does it so fast, in a hurry. Mega volume sets are beautiful. So
Lash
we're gonna
goals.
share.
Lash goals.
I know, she's amazing. So all of this, we're gonna be sharing this year, and we're really excited.
Awesome.
Let's see, the next question. Can you pre-make fans before your clients come to increase speed? Yeah, I sometimes do. It's a technique called crystallization, and you can pre-make them if you ever have learned that technique. It is an advanced technique, so I would make sure you get educated in that if that's what you're asking. Or there's pre-made fans out there, so it kind of depends on. It's kind of a tricky question of what you're looking for with pre-made fans. Because the industry is turning into more of the pre-made fans or the crystallization to help increase your speed.
For your clients. Yeah.
I think when you're new, that's a good tip to kind of practice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you want to practice too on clients so that your speed does pick up, right? No, you feel that way?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, these questions are awesome, you
Yeah,
guys.
you guys are amazing.
Okay, next question. When you first start lashing, it's important to increase how fast you are over time, but how do you not let it bog down your confidence? I think as lash artists, we all feel that way. When we first start lashing, we get frustrated because we want to be faster. I think the best way to go about that is practice as much as you can. But then at the same time, keep reminding yourself that you're doing better than yesterday. Every time you pick up those tweezers, you're gonna get more comfortable with the experience altogether. And then before you know it, you're just gonna pick it up and sit down and lash, and you're not even gonna think twice about it. So just keep reminding yourself that, look back at pictures from when you first started to even now, whether it's 3 months or a year or 5 years, you are growing and you are doing great. Just keep telling yourself, stay positive, and I think that's the best way to go about it.
I think for me, it was when I started doing lashes, I used to, I don't know if you guys do this, but I would sweat every time. I was a sweaty mess because I wasn't 100% confident. And I think if you just keep working towards it and keep going, one day I was like, wow, I don't sweat anymore.
Now I'm cold.
Yeah, and now I'm freezing in here. So it's just something you need to practice, and with the time, anything, that hand-eye coordination will come. Just keep going. You're not going to be the most amazing, fastest person in the beginning, but if you keep going, keep practicing, one day you'll be like, wow, I'm not sweating anymore. I feel pretty good. I think I got this. So, yes. The next question is it best to sell the lash sealer to clients so they can use it at home? I think the lash sealer is amazing, but as an artist, we have the Natural Touch mascara, which is our lash sealer with a black tint to it. So I would recommend selling the natural touch, and it will increase retention over time. It's an amazing product. Everything's made in the USA. So it's good ingredients, and you will see increased retention. So I would use the natural touch mascara, not the sealer, for your clients, because it just has that black sheen, makes them like nice, black, shiny. It's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Agree.
All right, next question. Let's see here. Let's see. When your new client, when you get a new client, do you suggest removing their old lashes and starting with a new set? This is tricky. I'll just give you my personal, what I do, because I'm just gonna be real, because at the end of the day, we're here to make money too, right?
Yeah.
Like we want to make money, we have bills to pay and things like that. I think what matters the most is what they look like. So if you can work around them, then why would you take them off, right? Because then they have to go home for a day, wait for the remover to fall out, and some people can't live without their lashes, so to them it might just not be worth it. So if you can work around it, I say why not, and then you seem more honest to your clients, right? Like, hey, I can work around these, so I'm not going to remove them just to remove them just to charge you for a full set. Like, I'll just charge you for a fill. Maybe it's not the best work, but you still can work around it.
Yeah.
So,
So it all just depends on what you brought, right?
Yeah.
If they're terrible and they're hurting their lashes, take them off.
Yeah.
But if they're good and you can work around them, then work around them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, next question. What's the benefit of being certified more than once in volume or classic? This is a great question, you guys. So I think I speak for all of us when we say everybody has a specific method or specific technique that they excel in. And I think if you just take one course and only do those one things, you're kind of cutting yourself short. Because again, everybody has a different method or a different theory of something. And so, you know, trying to learn as much as you can is just going to set you apart as a lash artist and make you that much better. When it comes to our trainings, the reason I'm here at Bella Lash, and the reason I think all of us really is, we feel that with our methods, we don't just teach, we're not a one size fits all kind of company when it comes to our academy. You know, we have over 5 methods that we teach in our courses. We offer classic and volume training. Our online courses are so detailed and in depth now. With the academy launch, it's amazing because you can take that time to study online before you come to class. So then when you show up for your 2-day course, you're comfortable, and when we start dropping names like diameters and curls and things like that, it makes sense to you and it's not so foreign. So I think it's always great to just be well-rounded in everything, rather than just sticking to a specific method or a specific way that you learned it. I think it just makes you an overall great artist. And like I said before, everybody's different and everybody has a different method, or everybody loves something different. So I think learning everything you can is always a plus.
I think it's really cool to hear what Haley has for this academy, and why she did it, because I remember her telling me that it's not just a 2-day training, and I really think it's cool what you say about it.
So the academy, we just felt like we really wanted to give you guys more time for hands-on, because I felt like when you go to your training and you just have a little bit of hands-on, you don't feel super confident when you come out of it. So the academy is, you learn everything up front online before you come, and then when you come, it's a 2-day. We restructured the whole training to be just hands-on. Nikki helped a ton with that, and it's amazing. I love it. So we really just wanted you to leave your training feeling really confident and ready to take on clients and not be uncomfortable, because just a 2-day weekend isn't enough to give you the confidence you need as an lash artist and the skills. So
that's really cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, so the next question is, in what ways have you seen Bella Lash grow? Along with that, how has being in charge of a major lash company changed you as a person? Okay, so I think, I've seen Bella Lash grow in many ways. We started just my husband and I out of our house, and we started in just a little room in our house, and it turned into our baby nursery. So when we had a baby, it had to be our baby nursery. So we moved everything into our garage, and then we couldn't park our cars in our garage, and it got to a point where it's all right, we need more space. So then we moved to our first warehouse, and then we had to get another one, and now we're in our 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th 7th warehouse.
Wow.
So
Yes.
That's so
I've just been able to see it grow just like in size, like
Yeah.
just literally from a room in our house to
So
a
cool.
big warehouse, and that's been cool.
Yeah.
How it's changed me as a person. I think I have learned how to be more patient. I've learned how to become more, how do I explain it? I'm more patient, and then also like you learn, what else? Just like a million things. I've learned how to get to the point, like if something's wrong, I know how to like address it and say, hey, I don't think this is right. Whereas I used to be really afraid of confrontation, and now I'm just like, I don't think this is right. So just learning that more, and yeah, it's been fun to see grow though. It's been a really fun ride and experience, for sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Next question. Let's see. How do you deal with cancellations? I feel terrible if I need to start charging deposits. Oh man. Cancellations. So I never really have people send me deposits. I feel like it adds more work for me. I just kind of have a strike policy where obviously family emergencies, stuff like that happens, so I don't charge them. Like, I mean, I have stuff I have to cancel on them last minute too sometimes if I got sick or things like that. I think it's when they keep doing it.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's like the first time's okay, second time it's like, what was the emergency? But once there's like a third or fourth, I'm like, okay, I'm catching on to you, so now if you want, then I'll collect a deposit from her. Or there's plenty of systems where you can actually set up that specific person. I think Salon Monster, I use that one. Style Seat, you can have that to where you can click on the person and it can have them only put a deposit on their appointment. So, yeah, that's what I do.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Agree. 100%.
Because sometimes I feel like right out of the gate too, if they're like, I want to make an appointment with you, and you're like, oh, hop on, you have to put in a deposit. Like, it's almost like standoffish in a way. Like,
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
It's a lot.
yeah, I agree.
And I don't like putting my cards on file.
Yeah.
So weird. It's like save your information, but then I always like for Bella Lash, it's like save your information. But then I place an order so much, I'm like, okay, I should save my information, but should I? You know?
Yeah. Makes you
For
nervous.
sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, so we have a giveaway winner. Lushlooks.ca. Does that mean you're in Canada?
Yay!
Congratulations! Thank you for asking questions. Lash Looks, you're awesome.
Yes.
Thank you.
DM us.
Yes.
Awesome,
Yes.
awesome. Okay, next question. I'm a master cosmetologist. The question is how to transition my clientele to lashes with my other services. It's a great question. I think personally we have our favorites in whether we're estheticians or cosmetologists, and then into lashes. So I first started an esthetician back in 2006, and lashes weren't around then. And then I transitioned into cosmetology, and then I transferred over into just lashing, which I think all of us have done that now.
Yeah.
So with that, I think the best thing to kind of do is figure out exactly how you can first introduce it to your clientele. So whether you're doing hair and you're kind of just going off, mention it like, hey, what do you think about eyelash extensions? Have you ever tried them? Have you ever had them? I'm adding it to my services. You can give them a breakdown of what it is. You can spend that time that you're with them already talking about it. I think that's the biggest thing, is getting it into their mind and getting them used to hearing about what it is and knowing that you offer that. You could offer, a special for the first month that you're new, to try lashes. I think that's a great option, but it's actually really easy to transition over. What do you guys think? I think when I first started doing lashes, everybody already wanted it, so it was kind of just like, oh, okay, let's do this instead of this, and I love it. So,
And you can like nonchalantly say like while you're doing the hair, just be like, oh yeah, I was doing lashes earlier and I had this happen, or do you know what I mean? You can just like pop little things in there so they know you do lashes.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see the next question. What are your tips on creating a social media page for your work? Ooh, that's a good one.
you're good at this. Yes.
Social media is really hard. They like you to play games with them. So they have algorithms and everything like that. So it's learning how to play their game, unfortunately. It used to be social media was free. It's no longer that way. So it's switching. I would say the first step is switching from a personal page to a business page, just so you can start seeing what your consumers like. So you can see when your audience is on, what days they are on your page the most, and things like that. I think is the best way to start.
Yeah.
And then playing with hashtags. There's even a hashtag app that you can see which hashtags work the best for you and your audience, and making sure your photos are really quality and just things like that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I definitely agree. I'm still, if I'm being honest, I'm still learning a lot about social
Yes.
media. I
We all
had
are.
Instagram for a little bit, but then when I had this set clientele and I wasn't taking anybody new, I didn't really care to promote because I felt
Yeah.
bad being like, sorry, I'm not taking new clients. Sorry, I'm not taking new clients. Sorry.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
you know, I think for me, it's just, I love sharing knowledge. I think if I can give them something to learn from, or, you know, just giving them tips and tricks, like people love that. And, you know, we all want to learn something from somebody else. And so, yeah, I agree with everything that you said. I think it's, you have to play the game, but then
it
also,
helps.
it does help. It's fun.
All right, and then my tips are same thing. Like, I think you just post what people want to see. Like, so help them, give them tips and tricks. Just post what they want to see, and it will be successful because you're actually adding value to their life. And then how do I keep the Bell Lash page looking professional? That is our marketing team. That is not me. Our marketing team is very good at keeping Bell Lash professional. It's awesome. We have an awesome photographer and videographer. We have a girl that writes all the social media posts, and a content creation team that create all the things, and they do a great job. So having a team is nice now, but
We have so many
start with the
outlets,
camera.
too.
I think is a huge thing.
Yeah.
Getting good shots, it's huge.
Yeah,
So
for sure. And we have a blog. I don't know how many people know that.
Yeah.
The Bell Lash
Yeah.
blog is amazing.
Yeah.
We post so much stuff on there.
yeah,
So
tips, tricks.
hop on there
Yeah.
too.
Sweet.
Okay. The next question is, can you use the Natural Touch mascara on volume lashes? Yes. So the Natural Touch mascara is actually the only one I recommend for volume lashes because it is so thin that it doesn't close up your fans. It just adds that black sheen and touch of sealer on your lashes, and it comes off so easy with water. It's designed for volume lashes pretty much, or like a full set of classic. Natural Touch is amazing. And the reason we have 3 is because, yes, we have the thin one, we have a medium one, and we have a thicker one. So if you have volume lashes, use Natural Touch. That's the only one I would use with volume.
What do you do with clients when their eyes don't close all the way?
You guys saw in our video yesterday.
She shared an amazing tip.
Yeah, so, okay. I'm sorry in advance that it was a little crazy to see them, but when clients come in and they drink caffeine or anything like that, their eyes just don't close all the way, so it makes it harder for us to like isolate. And I don't really like the money thing.
No.
Just because it's hard to sanitize money.
Dirty.
Yeah,
And-
some people take money on, is what she's referring to.
Yeah, and it's like, it's like a circle size.
Yeah.
So I made up a tip yesterday. And it's the jade stones, and they worked amazing.
Yeah.
Because they were cool. They were, like the circle shape.
Yes.
And then her eyes stopped fluttering. So I'm gonna buy like 6 jade stones myself and keep them in my sanitation thing and kind of go throughout them when clients drink caffeine and forget about their lash appointment. So we all learned something.
And that was
yesterday.
amazing. She did that like completely on the fly, you guys. Like, the eyes were twitching. She's like, I gotta think of something real quick. And she just did that. And it totally worked. It was awesome. So take something to add weight to their eyelids.
Jade
and it
stones.
helps.
Jade stones.
Jade
Small
stones.
ones.
Yep.
Have you ever used
It
gel
worked great.
patches to do that?
I have used gel patches, but like the tackiness kind of like comes off.
Yeah.
So those jade stones yesterday actually like stood in place the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But gel
So yeah,
patches
if you were wondering why we had jade stones on the eyelids yesterday, that was why.
make sure you
100%.
remind your clients about caffeine. Maybe I need to learn a lesson myself.
Yeah. We have that.
And I'm
in the
sorry.
training.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Okay. How often do you change your bottle of glue once it's opened? And how often do you have to change the glue drop? Okay, so let's start with the first part. Usually there's guidelines to this. Once you open adhesive, it's usually good for 4 to 6 weeks. Now, there is an exception to this. in Utah here, we're more dry. We don't have a ton of humidity. So I can get a full 6 weeks if I store it real good, sometimes even longer out of it. There's certain signs that you can tell if your adhesive has gone bad. Now, if you live in a state like Florida or anywhere with very high humidity, you might be more around 4 weeks, 5 weeks, it just depends. So make sure you're storing it properly, and that will help the life of your adhesive. And then same with the drop of glue. The more humidity you have, the faster it dries, so it just depends. I like to refresh mine about every 30 minutes. The second it gets stringy, that's my first sign that I'm gonna get a fresh dot of adhesive.
Yeah.
Anything else you think you want to add?
That's awesome. Yeah. Next question. Let's
Next
see.
question. Is it for you, Alexis? Oh, no. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yes, it is.
Oh, it's my question. Okay. How and or, wait, hold on. How and or do you, okay, I'll start over. Third time's a charm. How and or who do you practice volume lashes on when you just started doing volume? So, when I first started doing I can't talk anymore. I went to lunch and now I'm in a food coma. So when you first start doing volume lashes and you're kind of struggling, I would just use friends and family at first to really start getting my practice down. My mom always had the freshest lashes for a while, and then once you start getting good, mom kind of gets put on the back burner. Am I right? So I always used friends and family. I always gave them a good discount. But the struggle with that is once you start getting good, if you gave them a discount, is charging them from what you're worth. So that's where it came in, where I was like, I should have always offered specials for them versus giving them a discount. But then I just would practice when I got done doing a set. I would go in like on my Mondays or my Saturdays when I was off, and I'd practice. And I still practice to this day. I always am practicing. If my client's running behind, I'll practice. If my client's in the restroom, I'm practicing. I'm just constantly always trying to like be faster.
And kind of a way I transitioned to was I would just do a classic set and throw in some volume at the end, and that's how I would get my practice on my clientele. And I'd just be like, I'd tell them beforehand, like, if you want, I can put a few volume fans in there. It'll make them more full, more voluminous. Like, it might take a few extra minutes, and you kind of do more of a hybrid set. And I think that's a great way to transition into volume and getting your practice in while keeping your clients. Your first set for sure. Do family, do friends, but like once you do it for like a week or so, like start doing hybrid sets and trying to add it into your normal service.
I think when I first started doing volume, what I did is, let's just be honest, right? Nighttime is like our time, right? And we all watch Netflix, we all have a show. I remember putting a towel on my lap and it just practicing on the pod. I mean, because the hardest thing is making and picking up your fans. I think placement is not as hard, right? Because we're used to placing classic and extensions. So I literally would just ghetto in my bed, towel over my body, making fans, and just throw them away while I'm watching Netflix or whatever, you know? So
Bachelor's on. So.
Okay, the next question is, do you use the glue rings while lashing or the jade stone, and what's the pros and cons of each? So I use a jade stone or the pod, and the reason being is I like to have my lashes and my adhesive on the same unit. So it's just like something I don't have to change my eyes very much to just go boom, boom, on, or boom, boom, on. Whereas like if you have the glue ring, you're boom, boom, on, and it's just an extra step that I had a hard time getting used to. So I like to have everything just in one spot. So that's why I like the tile with the jade stone or the pod with the adhesive. That's why we've always like included them together, because your hand-eye coordination, like your eyes don't have to change focus. You're in the same area.
You already have to isolate.
Yeah, exactly. So I just like them to be on the same unit. So that's why I don't love the glue rings personally.
Okay, next question. What method do we use to make the volume symmetry? Okay, so I'm guessing you're talking about placement, right? How to make your volume placement look,
or like symmetrical fans.
Oh, symmetrical fan? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. So I I like a couple methods. If I'm being honest, there's days I struggle still to this day. Like there's days I'm going and I'm making my fans, and then all of a sudden 2-3 fans in, I'm like, so I'll switch to a different method. But I love the side fan method. First, I also like the lonely fan method, and then if those both fail on me, I'll go to the glue dot.
Yeah.
But, it just depends on the day. I think one of the biggest thing is my tweezer that I use. I really like the Volume Pro tweezer. It has a curved foot, so it glides across the lashes really well to get that separation perfect.
Yeah.
Again, it takes practice. I think a lot of it is just getting that muscle memory down, and then once you have that, you're pretty good. What do you think?
Yeah, and even as like an artist, that when you do the crystallization, you can do it beforehand, but if on the fly, like even if you're so good, not every fan you place is going to be 100% 45-degree perfect symmetry. Like it's something that like you get as close as you can to the symmetry and place it, and some turn out perfect, some are not perfect, but at the end of the day, just keep on keeping on, and they turn out amazing if you do that.
For sure.
Okay.
Should we do another giveaway? Let's do another giveaway.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do Chloe Lee Lashes.
Yay!
Yay! Thank you for asking questions. Thank you. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining our live. We're happy to answer all the questions you had, and just remember today is 30% off store ride, and if you spend over $150, you get a free 5 ml volume adhesive.
I did that.
Check. Happy trade show, you guys. Love you. Thank you.